Okay, Gary, welcome to Talk United Football Club.
Thank you.
What are your initial thoughts on joining the club as first team manager?
Well, as I've said, excited of course. It's always nice. It's like going to a new school, kid at a new school, and I know the place well. Of course, I've been here many times, battled with many a banter in the stands as the opposition manager. But I've always remembered the games here. It's a nice pitch. It's always been a good game. It's always been competitive. They've always looked after me, if I've come down as far as watching games here. But the main thing is we need to get the club up and going. We need to get going, and we need to. I worked with the players today. They look a bit down. You know what I mean? So obviously because they've lost the last game, the manager's gone, all that sort of thing, and we've had to pick them up a little bit. And I don't want to be a manager here saying, blaming the previous manager, because I like Gary and he's a good football man, he's a good coach. But all I've got to do is try and put my swing on it, if you like. I've had a message from Gary today congratulating me and saying, we'll have a chat, because we do speak to each other quite a lot. But we need to just turn the atmosphere around. We need to change our thoughts to change our world, which is a saying I always use. And if we can get the support back to where we know it can be, it's a bit chicken and egg. The players have obviously got to show a passion. They've got to show up beyond the Call of Duty type game. And then I'm sure the supporters will, really get behind them. But we need the numbers, So that was the first thing. We've got to get it going on the pitch. We've got to get some results. We've got a game against Hungerford and an FA Cup game, but you know what, the game against Wokin's a proper 6-pointer, so we've got to be ready and show what this club's all about in my first home game, not for me but for the lads and for the club itself. And then another reason to come in is speaking to George and the chairman, Clark, and really seeing how much time, effort and money's gone into their plans. And with that amount of effort, the players need to be showing the same sort of effort so that we can all get to the point where we all want to be. And this club needs to be certainly at a high level, and we need to take it as far as it can. And as I say, off the field things are looking like people are working very hard, so they deserve the effort on the pitch. And if the supporters can come to a club where they trust the manager, they trust the players, and they trust the management of the club, then the atmosphere changes, and that's really where we got to be. And I hope to help out in that situation.
You had your first training session this morning. What was that like?
Well, 2 were stuck on the motorway. The Bristol boys. The motorway was shut, so we couldn't quite do our organisation as in 11v11. But I got a lot of my philosophy out early with them this morning. I think 4 or 5 of them have played for me before, so that's good. They know what I'm about. And we had a very competitive, let's say, session today, and the boys responded really well. I was pleased with the way they responded. Now, in time we'll work out whether they're good enough, whether we can get them mentally fit as well as physically fit. I'm not saying they're not physically fit, but I need to see how fit they are and where they are as far as going beyond the Call of Duty, for instance, in games, and showing a passion and a desire to win football matches, whatever level, whoever they're playing. That's what they got to show to me. We definitely need a little bit more of a squad. I don't think there's enough competition for places. I think we need to get that a little bit so that training becomes more aggressive and physical, and people want to get into the first team, so that ups the standard straight away when you've got competition. So have I answered your question?
You've had a very successful career, and huge success with Cheltenham in the recent past. Obviously it's difficult to compare the two, but are there similarities there that could help you?
Yeah, there's similarities in as much as that it's a club that's hopefully lower than it ever should be. You know what I mean? So whether we've hit rock bottom or not, let's hope not. Let's hope that we can start moving in a onward and positive direction. But for me, we need to show that mentality to I need to show it, we all need to show it, that the boys can go out and play with a bit of freedom, because they're not going to get any stick after they give one ball away, because obviously that could happen. And so whenever I've gone into a club, you try to find out the weak ones, the strong ones, try and make the weaker stronger, make the stronger better leaders, etc, etc. Here, I always say, when I've taken over a club, often you take over a club when they've been struggling, and you take them over when they are rock bottom. But rock bottom here in this league as we stand is actually 3 points off the playoffs in this league. And I know everybody wants to be 20 points clear and all that, but as it turns out, we're not at the moment. So we have to make sure that we know where we are, and instead of being optimistic but realistic, because some teams that I've took over, realistically shouldn't have got to where they got. So I'm just going to say I'm optimistic, because there's no realistic about it. Optimism is, we can be optimistic about winning this league. We can. And then we can be optimistic if we then go further, because you need then to get into the conference and then compete in there. But the first step is optimistically to go into games believing that we've got to be the best team in the league.
Hungerford on Saturday, your first game. What are the early signs that you'd like to see in your team on Saturday?
Well, like I said, a desire and a passion. I think the boys, I talked to them this morning about being world class at the basics. I think we need to do that. You need to go out to win games, so therefore you need to have an end product, whether it be a shot, cross. I've noticed in the games that I've seen, there's not been enough opportunities for our team, and too many opportunities for the opposition. I think we all would agree with that. Even though a couple of games like Hemel, I watched that video late last night, and was it Hemel? There was a 2-0 win here, and they could have been 3-0 up maybe before that. So the lads have got to know that there's two parts of this game. We've got to make sure that we don't give the opposition opportunities, and we create a lot more at this end. So listen, we can all talk a good game, do you know what I mean? But we've got to put it into practice, and I've got to do it my way and try and get into the lads and make them feel like they want to show that desire and passion, because they understand what I'm telling them.
2 away games, and then of course, as you say, Woking coming up, so a little bit of a wait until your first home game, but a lot of anticipation there as well.
Well, I know your supporters travel as well, don't they? They've always had fantastic travelling support, especially coming from this sort of area, because everywhere's miles away. But we got to win these 2 games, of course. They're 2 important games, and then, as I say, there's a 6-pointer against Woking the following Saturday, when hopefully the boys have shown and people have reported that the passion was there, the ability was there, we scored a few goals, and then we can have everybody buzzing, ready for the game against Woking here. And I'm looking forward to that as well. I don't want to jump ahead too far just yet, but I just I want to see the Torquay of old, where their support was always fantastic for their boys.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate it.